All right, so you must have seen that video where I addressed this particular guy who had some pretty indecent comments or indecent comment about my daughter. I want to give my thoughts about it, okay? And I think specifically, it's why is it our Indian men resort to such comments or thinking patterns? Now, before you jump the gun and say that, oh, there are people like this everywhere in the world, you're right. I'm not denying that. Like if you check most of these Asian countries, or let's say Africa, or you check Philippines or Thailand, Cambodia, all these other countries, mostly Western expats, especially the ones who like young women, or even, sad to say, underage girls who are pedophiles. They target these countries. Okay, like in Philippines, the consent for sex is 12 years old. Why do you think there are so many foreigners going there? They are targeting girls who are young as 12, even though they are stating that they've changed the laws. In Africa, in poorer countries like even Venezuela, and here in Thailand also, you get all these pedophiles who like they call them sex pats. They're just targeting as young girls as possible. Yes, people do have crazy fetishes, but there are some things which are acceptable, like if you're talking of a particular age category. But then there are a couple of things which are unacceptable, especially when you're talking of really young children. Anyway, so my core focus is to focus on Indians because I deal with Indians. But now, here's the strange bit, okay, the part that is strange. The Indians who comment or put such comments, it's not like all Indians are bad, neither is it every Indian looks at women this way. However, I'm kind of careful with how I word it. The majority of Indians, okay, they are not educated, or they have not been, for lack of a better word, been given the right upbringing to know that you have to, like how you have to treat women. And I think it comes from living in a particular society or living in a particular area. How men talk about women, it kind of influences you. Let's say, for example, you're a young man. Okay, let's say you're a young man, and you hear all the guys saying, hey, look at this female's breasts, or look at this female's ass, or oh, I feel like pounding her. I'm just giving you an example. So when a young man listens to adults, or his circle of friends or people talk in this manner about females or women, he will assume that this is normal. He will think this is how women should be looked at or treated. And I've heard this many times when I was in Dubai. Used to hang around with Indians. Maybe because I was not allowed to mix with other so-called friends or whatever. So, this kind of talk was not very normal for me. So when I would go and interact with the guys, okay, so she's schoolmates and all that, and I would listen to them, I still recollect. This was, I think, in the 10th standard, the 10th class in school. These guys, Indian guys, mostly South Indians, they were going to this exhibition, GITEX, Gulf International Technology Exhibition, GITEX. And those days, the exhibition used to give a lot of freebies. So people, because it was just like at the initial stages, and so a lot of freebies, keyboards, monitors, keyboards, mouse. You're talking of 20, 25 years ago. So, people were rushing and dying to go and get the freebies. And there was so much of rush, like literally everyone was rubbing against everyone else to walk. There was hardly place to walk. So these guys, the South Indian guys who would, school guys would go to the exhibition. They would say, "Oh, I'm getting this keyboard, I'm getting this mouse, I want to get this freebie, that." But then you'd also hear guys say, "Hey man, there were these girls, or I was busy rubbing my elbows and touching her breasts, and I squeezed her ass." And so these young boys were talking about this. So, for me, I was like, man, why are you talking about, squeezing ass and boobs and this and that, when you can get a cool keyboard and mouse? Like, I was more interested in the free tech. No man, it was so nice. I was touching her, and this lady said, "Hey, shoo, other, like Arab lady, shoo, just stop." And that is how she was communicating. So just imagine a group of like 15, 20 young boys, and all of them are listening to all this and they're talking. So don't you think they would get influenced? So this is, like I said, so when you have groups like this and they talk in this manner, obviously they start to think this is normal. So in our Indian society, where they're still, they're still backward in so many ways. Backward in the sense, they're not accustomed to technology. They're not accustomed to all the exposure that they're getting. This is why when you have Arabs from the Muslim countries, conservative Muslim countries, when they are given, a free pass to come to Europe, like how they had this influx of Muslim refugees that they came to Germany or Europe. From being in a society where you hardly get to see women, and the women you get to see are fully clothed. They wear their abaya or burqa or whatever. Now all of a sudden you're going to this place where girls as young as 18, they're wearing skimpy outfits and they're dancing full night to rave music, and alcohol is being served, and they're very free, and they're hugging guys and talking. So guys all of a sudden do not know how to react to this kind of, scenario. And they think, oh, sex is okay and we can do all this with anyone. It backfires big time. It seriously backfires big time. And many of them really don't know how to treat women, how to behave in front of women, and how to interact with them. Their thought process is still outdated. So that is why when these Indian men are given access to the internet, are given access to social media apps where they can chat with just about anyone, talk to any female, what do they do, or what do they say? We see, this is a meme, but an Indian man, when he sees a female, he says, I love you, show me bobs and vagine. Why do they have this? Because these guys, they just don't know how to behave. They are thought that, You see a female, it's all sex. In fact, go to the YouTube channels and check the Nirbhay rape case. The guy who raped this female in the most horrific manner. They shoved iron rods and just removed off her intestines from her sexual organs. It was the most horrific thing. And when he was interviewed and he was asked, why did he do this? It's very chilling, huh? It's very scary. His response was to teach her a lesson. She cannot go out in the night. She can't behave like this. We had to teach her a lesson, we men. Just imagine that is the mentality of these criminal minds. And then imagine that these men, they interact with one another. So it forms a group where they talk like this. I've had interactions with men in my groups. I've literally had to kick them out of my groups. I mean, the language is so disgusting and dirty. Like this young man, he's in his, I think, 20s or 30s. He is, he's joined my group. He's claiming that he wants to learn. And he joins the group and he says, oh, I want to join your adult group or porno group or whatever. So just imagine, he's in his 20s. There are seniors in that group. And he's saying, I want to join the porno group. Publicly he's asking. So obviously people are amused and they're like, oh, you want to join the porno group? Oh, for what? What's the reason? He's saying, oh, this is actual words, huh? The white stuff is dripping and I want it to drip, and so cheap and dirty. And just imagine this is his real profile. And this is how he is talking. And there are classy people in my groups and people who have studied. They're like, are you feeling all right, man? He's like, come on, don't you think we should enjoy seeing these videos? I am feeling horny right now. And I had to boot the guy out. In fact, in my 8 years of being online, there have been multiple incidents which I have already shared a video. If you recollect, there was this young guy who was studying in Russia or I think Far East Europe. He added me as a friend on Facebook. Those days I was to accept anyone who was to add me. And then one fine day, when I put a photograph of me, my wife and baby on Facebook, his real profile, he comments, oh, your wife looks like a 3-year-old girl whom we can have sex with. His actual comment. And I was like, are you gone mad? And he's like, so what is wrong? I'm complimenting your wife. And I made a video on that. And, it's not that he lacked common sense, because after I made a video on that, please sir, I'm sorry sir, I didn't mean to do this. What? What do you mean I didn't mean to say it? You said it. And you're claiming you didn't know. Then how is it you know now, when I made a video on it? This is not an acceptable comment. People have common sense. I had this guy who, just because I spoke against some of BJP's policies a couple of years ago, he actually called me from his phone. Real profile, real person, through video. My baby was just born, and on video he's asking, seriously asking, like, I want to fuck your daughter. This is the exact words. How much? His real profile. Then I had one South Indian guy, actual profile, with his photograph, with his family, with his daughter in the display picture. And he sent me a message through his actual phone. How much to fuck your wife? I'm in Thailand. He was actually, how much to fuck? He's, I reported him to the authorities and posted it. Then when the police and all that, I was joking, please sir, I'm joking. What joke? Is it a joke? This is funny? And then you get these Indian men who, if you say anything about India, if you have a criticism or you have an opinion, how do they oppose your views? By speaking sexually about a daughter and wife. I mean, what are you trying to prove here? And what is his answer? Oh, this is to teach you a lesson. Don't mess with India. Or don't talk about BJP. I speak to senior BJP leaders. They're very respectable. They're very respectful. They're very mature. They are family people. Yes, we may have differences of opinion in policies or politics. But, we don't lose our humanity. We don't lose our human decency, human dignity. Really can't understand, Hey, doggy, you've been following me from home. Come, to go home. He's my doggy, by the way. So, I really can't understand, man. Guys have this tendency or belief system that, we need to teach women a lesson. What are you talking, man? And if you think that they are seriously so dumb, well, guess what? They will never speak about their wives, their daughters, their sisters, their mothers. They will never talk about them in this way. So why is it that they know over here I have to behave with human dignity, decency, with respect, but they don't identify someone else's wife, child, or sister with the same, kind of respect? Why? It's not because they don't know. It's not because they are dumb. It's because they are in that environment, that upbringing, where it's normal to sexualize other people's wives, other people's daughters, other people's women folk. And that is why even with all the so-called talent or brains or whatever personality or, values, ethics, morals, you can't teach that. You cannot teach that. See, out of fear, they will behave themselves. Out of fear, they'll say, oh, I'm sorry. But the minute they get back into the wall of, the four walls of anonymity, where nobody can find out who they really are, once again they will start. You think just by one incident they are going to cure their sickness or perversion? No. You just cannot. And by the way, it's not just young people. There are people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Here, you can see in these countries, Philippines, I have businessmen over there. Thailand, I know quite a number of people here. These tourists that they come, there was one undercover Thai, one foreigner was working in the law enforcement agencies. And here in Thailand, he used to focus on targeting pedophiles who used to come here. I'll tell you, it's like he would create this fake profile of this young, small girl who's 12, 13. And, pedophiles would busy target this profile and they would send all kinds of dirty videos and pictures. Just imagine grown-ass men with families. I still recollect. I've seen them. If I couldn't take it. like, man, please just stop, don't send me all this. And they report to the cops or they report to the law enforcement agencies, and guess what? They are deported back. And then they continue, they target some other country. So there's no cure for this. That is why in some countries, chemical castration or physical castration, that's the only solution. Otherwise, they're never going to stop, man. I don't know, is it the social media? Is it the easy access to adult material? This has always been there, this sick behavior. But today, I guess, maybe because of the easy access to all this material and social media, where they have these groups where they normalize this kind of behavior. They have these conversations which are so, like you can create a fake profile and then just discuss openly all the disgusting thoughts, and everyone feels it's normal. And see, it's not limited to men only. The females who are engaging in this kind of behavior, I mean, look at Instagram. The new trend that is on Instagram right now is these females who, seriously, this is not a joke, they will pull down their trousers, they are not wearing anything, and they'll just show you, like, not opening their legs explicitly, but they're not wearing anything inside, and they are blushing. And I saw one other female, these are real people, real people, and she's like, how do you want to know if your female is fresh? This female is, she puts her hand, inside her, there, and she takes it out and she's smelling it, and she's like, see, a normal human being, a person, not a fake profile. So when you get females behaving like this, to encourage behaviors like this, but now, here's the problem. Now, I'm a family man. I have my child, I have my wife. I'm not encouraging anyone to do this. Yeah, I know, you'll say, you have a porno group. Yeah, I don't put any content there. I'm just the admin for a group of people who I've known for years, who are in their 40s. They have their own interactions. It's a safe place for them, fine. And I've not kept any secret about this. I'm not encouraging anyone to add content. I'm not contributing anything. I'm just the admin, that's it. I don't even bother to see the content, except, of course, where I've told them, do not share anything that is not legal, and especially where you're targeting, certain porns which are not permissible. No way, no way. You know what I mean. I don't need to get into details here. And yes, to my shock and surprise, people always do send me this thing, hey man, this guy is sending this guy is sending that, and the thing that shocks me is these are family people. These are respectable businessmen, and still they have these fetishes. So what I've realized is, no matter who the human being is, okay, no matter how decent he shows he is, there can always be a dark side that you have to be careful about. And more scary than a guy who openly talks about all this is, a man or woman in a family pretending to be decent, pretending to be a good human being, but deep down they have this darkness, which is where how I got molested and raped when I was a small boy. My uncle, I thought he was a good man. I always believed he was a good man. But the minute alcohol went into his system, he couldn't control himself. And that's where today I am very particular about protecting my daughter against such individuals. And yes, I've done my part where because I've shared these stories, I get a lot of young men and women who share the horrific experiences that they've gone through, and they seek guidance. In some cases, even the fathers have not spared their own daughters. This is a reality, huh? This is not made up fiction. It's all true. And which is why, with my wife, we are constantly communicating as to, what we can do to ensure that our daughter has a safe, protected space. We live in twisted times. Yeah, we live in in a day and age where today it's more obvious than ever before. That is why, I've told you previous examples. My clients who, when they take part in exhibitions, you get these Indian businessmen and all that. And one is the smell, one is the look, the stench of body odor. And then they come in front of the female, and some of them have an erection and they're not even aware of that. Some of them are like, just like as if a dog in heat. They're looking at the female as if they've never seen a female. Some of them take out their smartphone and they're busy filming the female as if this is allowed. And then yes, here in in the red light districts, you get these group of Indian men. How much? Last price, how much? Okay, me and my friend give discount. Okay, my one friend free. And that is why even Facebook groups, where there are, prostitutes advertising themselves. What do these young men? I love you. They'll say, I love you. And they'll put their number, please contact me. I want to marry you. Because they don't know how to behave. And that is why we have these incidents, where men and women who have gone to India for a holiday, especially women tourists, we have had this incident where Holi, they're supposed to put color and all that, but they run and they, without the female's permission, they are touching the female and doing all shitty things in the name of religion. Like we saw that Japanese or I think Korean vlogger, she's walking and this Indian guy, young man, he flashes his private parts to her. We also had that Spanish couple, that female who got raped. It's okay. On one side, it is stupidity. I mean, you're wearing, revealing outfits and you're going to such areas. It's like, I know you'll say, oh, but does that mean men can behave this? My dear, here there are full moon parties. Full moon means the whole night. And over here, alcohol, drugs, hard drugs, and we're talking of men who are completely wasted, and they're not ethical crowds, they're not decent crowds. And females wearing skimpy two-piece bikini and see-through outfits, they go there, that also alone. And then when they end up getting wasted, drunk to the point where they don't remember what they are doing or where they are. And then they wake up in the morning and see, oh, my clothes are not here, and oh, I'm lying naked on the beach. And then they go and test themselves and find out they were raped. I mean, who are you going to blame? You have to blame yourself, no? You're going to such a place where such individuals are there, and then you're crying. But it's like, see, this Spanish couple, they had been to Pakistan, Afghanistan. They didn't endure what they endured in India. Like I said, India, the problem is the population is so high, and majority of men don't know how to behave when they see a woman. And then when you lack the upbringing, you lack the role models or whatever, you'll think this is normal behavior. Like this guy, all his details have been shared in my groups through some ethical hackers. They said, we'll destroy him. I said, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. Okay? I'm not looking to destroy this guy's life. He has destroyed himself. He has put his, hey doggy, he has put his real profile out there. Small doggy there. You can see small doggy, small bulldog. Hey. There you go. So, you know, I'm not going to. He has dug his own grave. He put his profile out there, and he said what he had to say. And that also, even after commenting, he continued arguing with other people, saying that he is teaching me a lesson. He is going to expose me, or don't you dare talk about BJP, don't you dare talk about India, or about UAE. I mean, who has appointed you as the voice of BJP or the voice of India or the voice of UAE? You're a bloody student. Focus on your career, right? What are you going around trying to school other people or teach other people? I don't understand what's wrong with these people. But like they say, you know, you have to be held accountable for your own actions, and you'll pay your price. And the price to pay is whatever will come. In today's day and age, you think you can hide behind walls of anonymity, but when you're exposed, then all the I'm sorry, you know, I was joking. It's not a joke, it's not funny when you talk of someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's family. Not funny. There's a price to pay. So you pay the price for it. I, for one, I just believe you put it out there, what you sow, you shall reap. Don't cry then when it's time for you to pay the price. So that's as far as it goes. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You agree, disagree. And like I've told you, if you do not like my content or my opinions, you don't have to subscribe to my channel or even look at the videos. Who's asking you? Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys take care.